In the preceding lesson, we had an example in which we demonstrated rolling a six-sided die 6 million times. And we're going to revisit that example here to demonstrate using an array of integers as counters for the random values being generated. So once again, as we did in the example from the preceding lesson, we create a random object that we're referring to as random numbers. And at line 10, we've created an integer array called frequency that has 7 elements in the array. For simplicity, we put 7 elements in so that the rolls of the dice that produce values from 1 through 6 could also correspond to index numbers in the array. And of course, a 6-element array only has indices from 0 through 5, but we wanted to use the die value as an index from 1 through 6. So we needed a 7-element array in which we simply ignore the element number 0. Now at lines 13 and 14, we iterate 6 million times, and for each iteration, we add to one of the frequency elements the result of this random numbers.next call, which, as you recall, is going to produce a value from 1 up to but not including 7, so from 1 through 6, and that value is going to be returned as an integer, which you can see here in the tooltip as I hover over the next method. Now, after doing that 6 million times, we'll display 2 columns showing you the faces and the frequency values for each of the sides 1 through 6, and our little for loop at lines 19 and 20, notice it iterates starting from 1, and we access the elements of the frequency array from 1 through 6 in this case, the position numbers 1 through 6. And of course, position number 6 is actually the 7th element in that array. So if I go ahead and run this program, once again, we should see approximately 1 million for each of the 6 different faces. And as you can see, they're all relatively close to 1 million. And if I run it one more time, we'll get different values, but they are once again all relatively close to 1 million in terms of frequency.